want to start with Palantir because I think this is our canary in the coal mine. Palantir is at a critical juncture right now. I can become very bearish really quickly. Um, and not because I think it's going to drop, 50% from here, but it's going to drop 50% from here. Um, that's kind of what we're looking at. Maybe not quite 50%, could be looking more like 40%. We had a three-way structure off the high. We have a very kind of garbage three-wave structure off the low, which tells me that probably is a B wave. Now, the question is this B wave ongoing? So for example, I have this, or is this the A wave, the B wave, and then we get the C wave up to the 61.8 so that the B would actually end here? That's possible, and it's not unlikely still. The question is what happens right here? Because I have a 5-wave down move here. That could be an A wave too, so I can't judge it too quickly. And then we have a 3-wave, very clear 3-wave move up. And now we have this 3-wave move down that's in the potential to become 5 waves for a third wave, which would put us already in the C wave, which I have targeting about 102. We're at the 100% extension of this 1-2 here. Now, that could be the end of a 3-wave structure, which would make this yellow B, and then we'd see a 5-wave move up here. I would expect it to get to 171 to tag the 61.8. Now, we have gotten 3 waves up, and it did reach the 50% extension. That's a textbook move also. That's a decent target for a B wave. I can't rule that out, that it's all been completed here, and that yellow is not happening. I would be looking at green happening here, which means that we're now in the 5-wave down structure of the C wave. How do we determine this? It comes down to where we get a bounce from Palantir here. The 100% extension is either the full completion of a 3-wave move, and now we'll see 5-wave up for a C wave up to 171, or the 100% extension is the target for a third wave of a third wave. So something like this is how you get a third wave of a third wave. Third wave of a third wave. That's the 100% extension. That's where we are. It just poked below it and it's moving up. Now, the difference will be, do we see 3 up? That would put us in yellow, or that would put us in green 4. If we see 5 up, that would put us in yellow C for wave 1 of C. What do I have so far? Well, let's take a quick look. To me, and I may need to go to the minute chart here. To me, this looks corrective off the lows. So don't get your hopes up just yet that Palantir is going to head to 171. This is not a very great move if you're looking for an impulsive move. I see an A, a B, and a C. That would be an a B, a short B here, and now a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially in the works for a C wave. That could be the A wave of 4, something like this. We'll get that little high here, here. Obviously not that hybrid degree. So that's what we could be looking at. Now, it can go up to the 61.8 retrace. We can see something like this. Maybe we do get a larger A and a B like this. The max I can expect from a 4th wave move in a 3rd wave is the 61.8. So the 3rd wave target is the 100% generally, can be up to the 127 too. And then generally the 4th wave target of a 3rd wave is the 61.8. 78.6 is an ideal target also. Now, it doesn't have to match any of that. We could see something come up short of the 78.6. We could see something come up past the 78.6, but short of the 61.8. Those are possible. I'm going to change this color because it actually does match the 4 here. I don't know yet, but what I know is that this move off the low is corrective so far, which keeps me in green. So that's basically saying I'm looking for this C wave to continue, which means it already has started. I think this is the canary in the coal mine for what we're going to get out of the markets over the next few weeks. So if you're long Palantir, I would be hedging at worst. I mean, at the very least, hedge your long position if that's what you're, dealing with. Um, or trimming on this next move up if we make it to 140 or even 136, trimming that at long exposure. That's what I would be doing. Um, because at this point, if the market does top, like I showed you on the S&P 500, if it does top, and it starts turning around, I don't see how Palantir is going to buck the trend. It's already in a move here where sentiment is falling. It's becoming bearish. We can even see we have lows on the MACD. We're only in the third wave of the third wave. That'll get worse likely when we get to the third wave here, which targets right now 117 to 118. 117.70 is exact at 1618. We could have anywhere between 114.65 and 117.70. Ultimately, I'm looking for a move at least to 110. That's the 200% extension, but that's only the 78.6 of this larger ABC that we have here. This ABC, this guy here. The 100% extension does rest near the 98.68 area. So that's kind of where I'm looking. I don't want to be too over the top, too up, in front of my skis here. But that's probably, if I had a gut choice here, that's probably where it's heading is 98. So is that 50% decline? Not quite, but that's pretty significant. We're talking, where is it at? 131 probably gets back to 140-ish, maybe. If it does, you're going 140 to 98. That's not a small move. So be careful. I don't like Palantir's setup for being long. I think we have lower to go, and this correction will take a move all the way down to 98 to complete. Now, for those playing along at home, what's the bigger picture? The bigger picture tells me that this whole run that we've seen in Palantir over the last several years has just been a first wave, and that I would be looking for a second wave. So that would tell me that this is only going to be the A wave of this second wave. We would get a material bounce, potentially something back up into the 150s. So, that's a pretty decent move up. You're talking 50% gain. So it sounds nice, but it's also in a B wave, which is going to be hard to track, hard to deal with, not something easily where I can give you parameters of what to do and when to get out and how to hedge. It becomes very, very tricky at that point. But ultimately, I see us heading back to at least 53 for the 38.2 retrace. Now, you might be yelling fundamentals at me. I don't care about the fundamentals. They don't lead. Sentiment leads. So that's what we're seeing here. Fundamentals can sort themselves out later. The fundamentals are a part of what I do, but they're not the leading part. They lag sentiment. So sentiment may lead us down here, and then the fundamentals may catch up. We might see growth slow. We might see flatline. I don't know. Palantir is doing a decent job right now, but yet the stock is falling. So you have to either consider the market as bipolar, which you can do, but I don't need to. I just know that it falls in moves and structures and cycles of sentiment. And I don't need to understand when the fundamentals are going to trigger things. I just need to know it's likely the fundamentals will eventually follow. That being said, it's only a second wave. So after a second wave completes, we're going to get a third wave, and that could be much, 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 much higher. You know, many time bagger from 52. So you could see a 10x from that point, maybe even 15x. So without getting ahead of myself, we need to see this corrective structure. I need to see the bounce off here to be three waves first, because that's only the 23.6 retrace. And it's not impossible for it to complete the entire second wave move here, but it's not likely. So that's what I want you to know and take away from that. It's not likely. The 38.2 is not even the most likely spot. It is a target generally for the A wave of a second wave. In the real, full picture, the 61.8 is also in play at $23. So how it gets down there, I don't know. It's not clear yet. I need to see this play out And then when we do eventually get, if when we get down here towards the 38.2, if I see 5 waves up off that low, you know what? We're going long. I'm going bullish. We're gonna bank a lot of profits because that means we're in the third wave. If it's only 3 up, then I'm gonna be like, we're still going. We still have ways to go down. So that's where we're on Palantir. I know it sounds kind of odd after the kind of run and the whole AI side of things that Palantir has seen over the last several quarters. But listen, that doesn't matter. I don't care. I'd rather protect your portfolio, my portfolio, because sentiment is going to tell us where that is. And sentiment is telling me right now, our next stop could be at 100. So that's where we are, Palantir.